world we know today. Vast forests stretched endlessly, broken by open grasslands where the sun burned hot and predators ruled without mercy. This was a time before names, before memory, before history. Life existed only in the present moment, and survival was the only law. Among the countless creatures moving through this ancient world lived a small group of early human ancestors, fragile, slow, and painfully aware that they were not the strongest beings in their environment. At the center of this story is one young male, barely past maturity, whose body was caught between two worlds. His arms were still long like those of tree dwellers, but his legs were slowly learning the burden of walking upright. He did not know his name, because names did not yet exist. But his tribe recognized him by his actions, his instincts, and his ability to sense danger before it arrived. Every day he woke with hunger clawing at his stomach and fear pressing on his chest like a constant weight. The forest was once their home. Thick canopies protected them from the sun and from the eyes of predators below. But the forest was shrinking. The climate was changing, the rains were less predictable, and the trees that once fed and sheltered them were slowly disappearing. Forced into the open grasslands, the tribe faced a world that did not forgive weakness. Here, lions with saber-like teeth stalked silently. Giant hyenas crushed bones with ease. Snakes waded beneath tall grass, and birds of prey circled above, watching for a single mistake. Food was scarce. Fruit trees were spread far apart, and competition was brutal. Every feeding site attracted not just herbivores, but predators as well. The young male learned quickly that hunger could kill just as surely as teeth and claws. He watched members of his group fall one by one, dragged screaming into the grass or crushed beneath powerful jaws. Each loss etched fear deeper into his mind, but also sharpened his awareness. One morning, as the sun rose red through the haze, the tribe approached a water source they had not visited before. Water meant life, but it also meant danger. Every creature in the region depended on it. The young male felt unease deep in his bones. The air was too quiet. Birds were silent. Even insects seemed to hide. He froze, his body stiff, eyes scanning the tall grass. Moments later, the ground erupted in chaos as a massive predator burst forward. Panic tore through the group. Screams echoed. Dust filled the air. The young male ran, his heart pounding, legs burning. He did not look back. Survival demanded forward movement only. He climbed the nearest tree, claws scraping bark, muscles screaming. Below him, the predator feasted. When silence returned, the tribe was smaller. That night, hunger and grief blended together. The young male understood something instinctively. Staying still meant extinction. They needed to change or die. Days later, a strange discovery altered everything. While scavenging near the remains of a fallen animal, the young male picked up a sharp stone. Not intentionally, not with understanding, but by accident. The edge cut into his palm, drawing blood. Pain shot through him, but something else followed. Awareness. The stone was dangerous, but it was also powerful. He struck it against bone and watched flesh tear more easily than before. For the first time, he was not completely helpless. This simple object did not make him strong, but it made him different. He brought it back to the group. Others watched cautiously. Some feared it. Some copied him. Slowly, the tribe learned to use stones to crack bones, scrape meat, and defend themselves. Predators still ruled the land, but now, humans were no longer entirely powerless. Then came the greatest test. A prolonged drought struck the region. Rivers dried. Plants withered. Animals migrated or died where they stood. The tribe followed fading water trails deeper into open land, exposed and vulnerable. Each step away from the forest felt like a betrayal of their past. But turning back meant starvation. One evening, as the sun dipped low, they were surrounded. A pack of predators closed in, drawn by weakness and hunger. There were too many. Trees were too far. Panic rippled through the group. The young male stood frozen for a moment, then something shifted inside him. He did not charge. He did not flee. He stood upright, raised his arms, and screamed. The sound was raw, loud, unnatural. Others joined him. Stones were thrown. Dust flew. Confusion spread among the predators. This was not expected behavior. After tense moments that felt endless, the predators backed away, not defeated, but uncertain. That hesitation saved the tribe. That night marked a turning point. Standing upright was no longer just movement. It was communication. It was intimidation. It was unity. The young male realized survival was not just about strength, but about cooperation. Together, they were more than prey. Time passed. Seasons shifted. Loss continued, but so did learning. The tribe began to recognize patterns in animal behavior, in weather, in danger. Memory was forming. Knowledge was being passed, not through words, but through imitation and experience. The young male grew older, his body scarred, his movements slower, but his mind sharper. One final twist awaited him. During a migration, the tribe encountered another group of early humans. Fear exploded instantly. Competition over resources meant violence was likely. The young male felt the tension rise. But instead of attack, both groups hesitated. They observed each other. Similar bodies, similar fear, similar tools. After hours of standoff, one group retreated. No blood was spilled. This moment, unnoticed by the world, planted the earliest seed of coexistence. The understanding that not all unknown beings must be destroyed. Years later, as the young male lay near the end of his life, the world around him had already changed because of him. Not because he was strong, but because he adapted. Because he stood up when others stayed low. Because he learned when others only feared. He did not know that his choices would echo millions of years into the future. He did not know cities would rise, oceans would be crossed, or that humans would one day look back and ask where they came from. But his survival meant the survival of those who came after him. Life 7 million years ago was brutal, unforgiving, and merciless. Yet within that cruelty, the first sparks of humanity were born. Fear turned into awareness. Awareness into cooperation. Cooperation into survival. And survival into us. If this ancient human had failed, history would never have begun.